Good morning, good morning. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. This is Beth. We are in our Hobonichi and trying to catch up. But rather than tell you my process, which I have told you 100 times, which I start putting in big things, put in color, put in a little bit of journaling, because most of mine is just focused on images rather than words. And I thought I would do something different. So that was the day I made stuffed bell peppers. I love putting food labels on. I don't know why. I just do. But tomato paste made it in there too. Okay, so I thought I would rather not read, but just kind of go a little bit through Robin McClendon's book. Not sponsored, not anything. Just a gigantic fan of her work, her approach to work, her approach to life, her approach to education, her approach to travel. She's a really, really interesting lady, highly educated, highly traveled, and I think traveling, the best thing I have gotten out of traveling is learning about other people and how to live and work and accept other people for who they are, what they believe in, and I think the world needs a little bit more of that, and I think she feels the same way. And watching her Patreon from the other day, she was like, "We just need peace." I'm like, "Amen, sister. We sure do. We just need peace." So rather than babble on too much longer, I'm just going to read a couple things she wrote in her book, and it's all about her approach to different techniques in gel printing. What is her book called? Gel Plate Printing for Mixed Media Art. She uses it as a base for everything, in a lot of things in her approach to art. And she's big into art mythos, which she actually has a class titled like that. This is what I just opened up, the first one. One of my favorite quilting exhibitions was the quilts of Gee's Bend. I love the quilts of Gee's Bend. Gee's Bend, Alabama. Look it up. Amazing. This patchwork technique that I create on the gel plate was inspired by the particular style of quilting that these women did, which focused on color blocking. Perhaps you have your own favorite family quilt or a quilt by an artist that you love. Use that quilt or image as an inspiration for your work in the patchwork technique. Ugh. She's got just all different kinds of techniques in ways to use your gel print to achieve what you want. And a lot of times what her finished products are, she's written in here and her inspiration for it. Play with creating a variety of ink blots on your plate or finished work. Just put a drop of ink on the plate, pull the print, and see what comes up. Reflect on the Rorschach test and see what your interpretation of your ink blots may be. I think that's like when a psychiatrist says, "Look at this ink blot. What do you see?" This is fun to do on the 1, 2, 3 color background prints that you have created. I mean, just things that you would not think about. I don't think about when I'm making art. I challenge you to create your own stencils. Use any disposable plastic. Try a sheet protector or a package or transparencies. Maybe cut a repeat pattern of circles or squares. Perhaps cut out some shapes that intuitively come to you. You can even use a hole punch and other shape punchers. Just think outside the box. Make it simple. You will be surprised at how responsive the gel plate is to laying down these simple stencils and the effects that will come from using them. This book is so great. Create a finished collage with washi tapes you have made from your gel prints. Yes. Aside from seeing them as decorative elements, actually make an entire collage using these tapes. Reflect on your experience of using a decorative print as a foundation. They will definitely be more strips in your future. So, hold on, I have a crying dog. I think Gunnar needs some art mythos. There will definitely be more strips in your future, so you may come up with a weaving as a collage technique. This is often viewed as an accessory, and there is insight to be revealed when you use it as a foundation. Just amazing. This is what really gets me. Explore what makes a color palette by translating Venice. Translate Venice. When I want to translate a feeling or mood, I reflect upon the colors and textures that match it. Practicing with making a color palette for Venice is a wonderful way to explore the language of color. Next, pick another place that you may be drawn to and enjoy and see what colors, patterns, and textures come to mind. How can you transfer this feeling to your print? So cool. So cool. Oh, so yes, I'm just taping in pictures. I print a lot of daily pictures of what I've done. My paint palette that I did with you guys yesterday. It's super simple. I'm very simple-minded when it comes to this. The more, the better. The full moon at the beach the other night over the tennis court. Or no, that's volleyball in the sand. I made a couple things on Patreon, how I make little text box and stuff, just with a color swatch and lines and a piece of grid paper on the computer. So it's super fun, super fun. I'm going through looking for blank spots, and just kind of putting washi tape. Washi tape is another form of color. Washi tape is another form of color. That's how I feel. Even like the Christmas sweaters that I want to buy but my other side of my brain is saying, excuse me, you're trying to reduce the amount of clothes you have. I don't have a lot of clothes, but I still want to reduce it by more. I actually did that like 2 years ago. I got back big into the Marie Kondo thing where you take down to barely nothing. And I had 7 nice casual shirts, 7 bad casual shirts like what I wear at home when nobody's around, and very nice stuff, about 7. And it has creeped up, but the 7 bad ones that I wore around the house every day are worn out. So this year I have actually replaced them a little bit. And really and truly what I should have done is moved the 7 nice casual, to the 7 around the house, and then upgraded the nice ones. But I kind of worked backwards. Like, don't sell your soul to the backwards country lawyer t-shirt that I bought the other day. There's an inside joke there with my husband, but he's not backwards, but he is a Southern lawyer. But sometimes he does use the country come to town method, and it usually works for him. He's like, well, I don't know much, but I do know blah, blah, blah. He'll start out like that. But he's not a trial lawyer, so he doesn't have to do a lot of that. Sometimes he does, though. So what goes into my Hobonichi, I have told this too: football, current events, things that I have done, receipts, food labels, love work from other people, like my buy bun printables that I get on Patreon every month, which I love. And I don't necessarily like her subject matter all the time, but I do love her approach to mixed media. Talking about lovely quarterbacks in football, young kids, a 23-year-old quarterback in professional football that is just killing it until 3 weeks ago. And I think he's lost his confidence. My heart just breaks for this kid, but hopefully he'll get it back. So Crime Con, just the fact that all the Murdoch lawyers were there, and they make fun of people that try to earn money, and trust me, Dick Harpootlian has money. But he was there, and he was making fun of people that have podcasts. I'm like, what do you think Crime Con is? Hello? Anyhow, I could go on and on about that man. Because he did go to law school with my husband. They graduated the same year. So anyhow, and they have never liked each other. But, why do I have a Philadelphia cream cheese box in my Hobonichi? Because you make clam dip out of Philadelphia cream cheese, and clam dip is a huge family tradition, and I do it in the winter a lot for my husband and my sister and me, and the dog a little bit. He gets a little bit, tiny little bit. My Perot and Christie friendship bracelets I made to wear for October and for journaling. I mean, just everything goes in here. Life. It is a life book. That's what it's called, and I love putting stuff in here. from life to the point where it is overstuffed. This is the year I forgot to order it, the avec, which is in 2 sections. I don't know how I did it, but I did. And so anyhow, yep, my Basquiat playing cards go in here. Everything goes in here. My Goodwill receipt that I got when I bought a binder at the Goodwill. Gunner, please. Anyhow, we are at the end. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow, back in a Hobonichi of some kind.